नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So as we have, I think 3 weeks back, we have discussed second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll start with the third chapter. Anybody remembers what you have discussed in second chapter? Any brief points? Blank. Okay, I will remind you. Bhagavad Gita second chapter is the content summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is known as Gita summarized or Buddhi Yoga, where Lord gives knowledge about soul, karma, yoga, sannyas, and ultimately he again comes back and he speaks about Bhakti Yoga at the last. Like first 1 to 11 texts, when Arjun and Lord Arjun is giving reasons not to fight, he accepts he doesn't really mean as a friend. But then when he accepts him as a guru, then Lord starts giving him instruction. The first and foremost quality to start with the spiritual knowledge is to inquire from an authorized guru. And how to inquire? By submission. So when Arjuna submitted himself as a disciple, then Lord started giving the spiritual knowledge. Then he starts with the first basic principle that we are not this body. So from 11 to 31, Lord explains about the soul, different characteristics of the soul. After finishing that, he starts with the Karma Yoga. Then he starts with the divine knowledge. Then that knowledge, he said, how one should renounce all the activities with the help of knowledge. After doing so, on the platform of Buddhi Yoga or intellectual intelligence for life. After that, because Arjuna asked him, okay, one who has this intelligence, what are his qualities? The last chain of 10 to 20 verses, he explains about the qualities of the person who is situated in Krishna consciousness or who is practicing Buddhi Yoga. And again at the last, Lord says, okay, fight. And as Lord explained in second chapter, 49th verse, that Durena Yavaram Karamam Buddhi Yoga Dhananja, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. Then Arjuna gets confused. What is this? Then in the beginning of this chapter 3, Lord is going to give knowledge about karma. What is meant by karma? Generally, people they think Bhagavad Gita means karma yoga. Is that true? No. But mass of people, they consider Bhagavad Gita teaches only about karma yoga. But what is that karma yoga? That we have to understand. So let's try what actually Lord meant by karma yoga. So the first verse itself, Arjuna asks, Jayasi cheta karmanaste mata buddhir janadana tat karmani ghore mam niyojayasi kesha. O Arjuna, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? if you think that intelligence is better than the fruity work. Then he further says that Vyamishrineva Vakyena Buddhi Mohyam Yasivame Tadekam Vadanishchitya Yena Shreyo Mama Apnuya. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Already there is a lot of duality in his mind. And after giving the knowledge of Buddhi Yoga, again Lord asked him to, okay, you start fighting. He said, why? Why is it so? Vada nishchitya. Please, please tell me decisively which will be good for me. Then from text 3 to 9, Lord answers this question. He says, Lokesmin vidhanishta para prokta mayanaka. Jnana yogena sankhena karma yogena yogina. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize this self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical knowledge, some by philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. So Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and see, we have to understand what is meant by yoga. Because people in general, they have a notion that yoga means only a physical exercise, which will improve your breathing, which will improve your sexual capacities. That's it, nothing else, no more than that. But yoga means not that. The word yoga, it has a root in yuja. Yuja means which connects. Connects with what? Connects with the impersonalities, they called it as a universal power. What is that actually? And the empirical study of that power is considered as a Sankhya Yoga, which means an analytical study of energy or material elements or the spiritual potencies of the Lord. That is Sankhya Yoga. And topmost explained about soul. It is one of the energy of the Supreme Personality of a God. Then further he explains about the knowledge. And as we have discussed just today morning in Srimad Bhagavatam class, that Veda or knowledge means that which leads us toward Supreme Personality of a Godhead. And rest of the thing is, Prabhupada says, Vayasapitha. It's the place where crows can enjoy. That is garbage. So the knowledge which connects you with the Supreme is known as a Jnana Yoga. And the process which connects you with the Lord, with your activities, that is known as a Karma Yoga. Then what are these activities? How to understand them? That whole thing is explained here in this chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then further Lord says in text 4, Na karmana arambhan naishkarmyam purusho ashnute nacha sannyasat eva siddhim sama adhigacchati. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone one can attain perfection. Again, controversial. One side is saying that if you abstain yourself from the karma, you will not achieve freedom. And renunciation is also not only one way to attain the Supreme. Then how to do that? What is the logic behind this? center of silence. That's the logic behind it. Huh? Come on. Yesterday we discussed what Lord has explained in the first few verses of second chapter was the basic principle of spiritual life. So anything belongs to soul. Then how he can give up? How he can renounce this? If nothing is belong to you, how you can renounce? If someone says there's a billions of crores in this bank, so I'm just giving you, take it. Does it make sense? Whom it belongs? Does it belong to me? Then who am I to give it to you? Does it make any sense? Then Jiva, who nothing possesses anything in this world, does he? As they say, you come naked and go naked. If you don't want to go naked, they forcefully send you naked. That's what happens. Huh? Then what you are going to renounce? Is there anything that belongs to you? What we nurture with spending so much of money, that our own body, that we have to give up at the time of death. Then what to speak of the things which are related with the body? Are they going to come with you? Do they belong to you? This life itself, you realizes that. Medically, it is proved that every 7 years you have to leave your body. That's true. Every cell of this body gets changed within 7 years. So every 7 year you have a new body. So body belongs to you. If yes, where is the last one? Do you have with you? No, we have the new one. Then things related with the body. As person gets married, previous to that, his identity that he is the son of his parents. And parents, they used to claim, he is my son. After marriage, what happens? Identity changes. She says, he is mine. He says, she is mine. Then in bracket, whatever it may, maybe the slave, servant, or whatever it may. After a few days, that same she, when she becomes a mother, then her identity is changed. Woman, when she becomes a mother, she never becomes a mother of her child only. She becomes mother of her husband also. The way she looks at the man, that totally changes. Does she remain same? No. So in this same lifetime, nothing belongs to us. Everything is relative. Sapeksh. Then what is there that you have to renounce? Nothing. That concept has to be clear in any activities. When you think that nothing belongs to me, then whenever you do activities, you will do in such a way that that manner will be itself a detached manner. Oh, anyhow, nothing belongs to me and I'm not going to get anything, then why should I get entangled with this activity? Am I clear what I'm saying about? Are you getting it? Sure? Or just waste of time? Okay. The next, in the 5th verse, Lord says, Nahi kashit kshanamapi jato tishtatya karmakrit karyate yavashak karma sarva prakritir gunaihi. Some philosopher, some spiritualists, they think that give up. Don't perform any karma. Just keep quiet. Try to seek pleasure inside, so meditate. Close your eyes. Shut yourself from the around world. Does it happen really? No ways. Because it is said, Nahi kashit kshanam api jato tishtatya karma krut Everyone is forced to do karma here helplessly in this world. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for the moment. So indirectly, Lord is saying that everyone is under control here. No one is independent. No. It has God done through you. You're the instrument. And who is getting it done? Prakritir Gunehi. These are the modes of material nature. Under their influence, living entity perform activities in this world. For example, everybody goes to sleep. When? If intoxicated at any time. Because that's the mode of ignorance. Generally, the sane men, they go to bed at night. Because mode of ignorance is prevalent and it affects each and every one. When there is a mode of goodness, they wake up from the bed. That's the morning. So everything is new, fresh, and enlightened. So they start with the fresh mood because it's in the mode of goodness. And the whole day from 9 to 5 or 6, it's in the mode of passion. So they work. So this is natural for all living entities, not only for the human beings, for all living entities. So directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, all the living entities, they are influenced by the modes of material nature. And when modes are prevalent, they force you to act. Then are you going to get somewhere as an idle life that you are not doing anything? Will that happen anytime? Because all the time, modes of material nature are active. Either goodness, either passion, or either ignorance. So no one can abstain himself from performing activities. Is that clear? So who is acting then? Through soul. Because he is getting influenced by the modes of material nature. Are you able to go along with me? We are on the same page? Because it looks like a big question for me at everyone's face. So the next, कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इंद्रिया अर्थान विमूढ़ात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते. Now Lord is explaining about the person who is pretender, mityachar. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So if you have understood the previous verse, that no one in this world lives without, for a moment, without performing any activities. Everyone agree with that? Still, there are some people who claims that they can abstain themselves from performing karma. For them, Lord is saying they are pretenders. Physically, they may not be seen that they are engaged in performing karma, but their mind dwells upon that. Not grossly, but certainly they are active. So either way, that person is performing karma. Then how he can claim that he is renouncing karma? And if someone claims that, then that person is considered as a pretender. So how many want to be a pretender? Nobody. Because nobody likes to cheat them whom you love. Whom you love, you want to cheat him? No. So if someone loves God, does that person wants to cheat the Lord? And if you want to cheat you are not loving God. Most of the people they sing, oh, we are devotees, we are bhaktas. We also worship. But whom? Our own ego. Nothing else. The person who worship their Lordship, he never says that I am worshipping Lord. But he says, I'm trying to do that. Because he knows perfectly worshipping Lord means what? Surrendering their Lordship means what? But without knowing, by our own so-called intelligence or puffed of ego, they think that we are worshipping. No. God himself who says the devotee of the Lord, he is not my devotee. But if someone says he is the devotee of the Lord's devotees, then Lord says he is my devotee. So the person who claims himself that he is not performing activities, but his mind is object of activities, then definitely he is a pretender. So before giving a knowledge, Lord giving him the hints of the things which going to be becoming obstacles in acquiring knowledge. And that the first of all that is tendency. If you are in ignorance, to cover that ignorance, person tries to pretends. If you don't know something about some subject matter and you know that other person knows, and if he starts speaking about that, you behave like, oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yes. You may not be knowing anything, but you pretend to that you know everything. So that's the cheating propensity. And that everyone has. No one should say that I'm not having. Everyone has that, including me. Because we are having imperfect senses. If you are perfect, knowledge what we are going to achieve by that, it is also imperfect. But if you repeat the knowledge which has given by the perfect person, that knowledge is perfect. Because you are just repeating the same what has said as it is. That makes a difference. And that's why Lord here says, pretender's mind is always impure, and therefore his show of yogic meditation has no value whatsoever. Then further he says in the text 7, Yaspindriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyehi karma yogam asakta savishishyate. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga, that is in Krishna consciousness, without attachment, he is by far superior. In Purport, Prabhupada says that instead of becoming pseudo-transcendentalist, for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from the material bondage and enter into the kingdom of God. The prime Swartha Gati, or goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. Nate vidu Swartha Gatim hi Vishnu. The pretenders, they never understand the self-interest is to attain the Lord Vishnu. Swartha Gatim hi Vishnu. Swartha. So many times we hear this word, swartha, and they translate in English as a selfish. Huh? But you need to be selfish. In true manner, swartha means knowing yourself, who are. What is the purpose of your life? If you know that, then you are really swarthi. You know yourself. And real swartha is to go back home, back to God. Swartha gatim hi Vishnu. The real self-interest is to attain the Lord Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Ashrama is designed to help us reach this. And that's why this Vedic civilization was divided into 4 categories. Chaturvarna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhakashaha. According to the modes of material nature that one has acquired, this whole human society was divided into 4 parts. Varna and Ashramas. Varna means Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Shudra. The person who has acquired a particular mode of nature, according to that, he gets his Varna, but not by birth. That one has to understand. The person who is in the mode of goodness, irrespective of which caste, creed or nation he has born. But if he is in the mode of goodness, he is considered as a Brahmana. Brahma janati, so Brahmana. Then the person who is in the mode of passion, he is considered as a Kshatriya. What do you mean by Kshatriya? Kshati trayate sa Kshatriya, who protects other from their deterioration. So it may be the religion, it may be the social order, whom he protects from their destruction. He is trained in both ways. He is trained in Shastra also, and he is trained in Shastra also. So wherever there is a need of Shastra, he establishes that thing or protects that thing. To become a Kshatriya is a big responsibility. In today's world, there are no Kshatriyas practically. That's why there is a whole chaos all over the world. Because this Kshatriya class of people has gone. Nobody is there now. If they would have been there, then whatever chaotic condition that we are experiencing in this modern civilized human society, you would have not got it. Then there is a class of Vaishya. Vaishyas they are in the mode of passion as well as ignorance. They have full passion to earn money and they have an ignorance to enjoy that. That's why they can't be the teacher. They can't be leader. But sorry to say, the whole world is led by such a people. Everywhere you go, you will find that all the top class business guys are there in politics. They are heading the nation. So who is heading the nation? The people in the mode of passion and ignorance. Then how there will be a peace in the society? Is it possible? Huh? Huh. And then there is a class of Shudras. Irrespective of a caste, creed, and nation. If someone is engaged in someone's service, he is considered as a Shudra. Paricharyatmaka karyam. That's the symbol of Shudra. So he may be the born of Iyer or Iyengar, anything. Shukla, Gup, or Chaturvedi, Dubey. But if they are serving someone, getting wages for that, they are considered as a Shudra, as per the modes of material nature. So these are the Varnas. They are also meant to progress in spiritual life. And 17 and 18 chapter of Bhagavad Gita gives us detailed, elaborate knowledge about this. So we'll discuss that time. So ashramas now we'll consider. There are 4 ashramas. Ramakrishna Ashrama, Hinmay Ashrama, Iskcon Ashrama. What are the ashrams? There are 4. Starts with the Brahmachari ashram. Third is Vanaprastha, and 4th is. So the Brahmachari, the meaning of word ashram, that we have to understand first, what it means. Ashram is a place where one makes spiritual progress. That has to be clear. If it is clear that these are the places where one can make spiritual progress. So Brahmachari ashram is the person who remains celibate at the place of his spiritual master and learns about Vedic knowledge, which is suitable for that ashram. He is Brahmachari. Brahma Janati Sa means who knows the Brahman. When he sees each and everyone as a soul and part and parcel of the Lord, that person is known as a Brahmachari. Brahmam Acharati Saha. So he never distinguished on the bodily platform. And that's why he can maintain his consciousness and he remains a Brahmachari. If that person has a distinction on the bodily platform, then what happens? He becomes Grahastha. Because he makes difference of women and men. He considers someone as a woman and he considers someone as a man. So that differentiation makes him to enjoy this world. And then he has to take up a Grahastha ashram. It's not a license for him to have an uninterrupted sex with the opposite sex. No. That's the ashram which maintains other 3 ashrams. Because brahmacharis, they never earn. Vanaprasthis, they never go and work. And sannyasis, they never engaged in material activities. Then who will take care of their needs? It's Grahastha. Because he has a duality in his mind, so he works with the modes of material nature. By working under the influence of particular modes of material nature, he accumulates wealth. After accumulating that wealth, if he wants to purify it, then he engages in the service of these 3 ashrams. And by engaging his hard-earned money in that money gets purified, as well as his consciousness gets purified. And he makes progress in spiritual life. With this understanding, when he conducts his Grahastha ashram, then at the end of Grahastha ashram, he retires from that and becomes a Vanaprasthi, where he takes a responsibility to train the next generation. Which is not happening today. Because the people who are supposed to give training, the kids who are supposed to get trained, in front of them, destroying their life. How many of you agree with that? Yes, Prabhu. Television. Into the market, came into the market. That time, at least he wrote an article on that. In I only he wrote it down that this is what destroys civilization. He said, and that's what's happening now. One of our spiritual master was telling, they came, never changed the living style of the people. They came, they looted the things, and little bit harm they have done for the particular civilization or way they were living. This television has come into the whole religion. Very careful about this. Then this ashram, which is known as a ashram, which is the when in that particular ashram, it's more advanced in spiritual life. Sannyas. And then he studied liberation. Is this both varnas and ashramas, they are made for our own spiritual progress. Sincere person who follows this method is far better than situated than the false pretender who adopts spiritualism to cheat. And there are so many. A sincere sweeper is a far better charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Then further in the 8th verse, Lord explains that नियतम त्वं कर्म जायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीर यात्रापि चते न प्रसिद्धे अकर्मणः. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. The Purpose Proverb says, there are many pseudo-meditators who misrepresent themselves as belonging to high parentage. Professionally pose that they have sacrificed everything for the sake of advancement in spiritual life. Lord Krishna did not want Arjuna to become a pretender. But he says, rather the Lord desired that Arjuna perform his prescribed duties as set for the Kshatriyas. Arjuna was a householder and a military general, and therefore it was better for him to remain as such and perform his religious duties as prescribed for the householder Kshatriya. Because he was like this, I will give up everything and I will start begging. Begging is the not profession of householder. Profession of sannyasi. Brahmana. Only these two people can beg. They can ask for donation. Because they have potency to burn the karma of the person from whom they get donation. And if other people they take, they will burn by their own karma and the karma they have got by that money. So making living on others' donation is not the rightful way. And that's why Lord is saying here that being a householder and Kshatriya, you should engage in your karma only. Don't try to be pretender. Such activities gradually cleanse the heart of a mundane man and free him from material contamination. For the purpose of maintenance approved by the Lord, or nor by any religious scripture. After all, one has to maintain one's body and soul together by the some work, and work should not be given up capriciously, without purification of materialistic propensities. Anyone who is in the material world is certainly possessed of the impure propensities for lording it over material nature. Or, in other words, for sense gratification. Such polluted propensities have to be cleared. Without doing so, through prescribed duties, one should never attempt to become so-called transcendentalist, renouncing work and living at the cost of others. So better to engage in our own karma. Then Lord, in the 9th verse, he explains, Yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karmandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Giving answer to his question, what is better? Better thing is that one should perform his karma, but for the sake of sacrifice for Lord Vishnu. Karmano, yajnartha karmano anyatra. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. You will always remain free from. To it have hinted at nishkama karma, work and detachment. Nishkama karma, in other words, combines karma and jnana. Karma allows the soul to be active but in detached way, so that he is protected from material entanglement. And higher still, as stated in this text 9, is when one's knowledge decreases to include knowledge of Vishnu, and detached activities one then performs are offered to him with a devotion. And Nishkan karma is meant to lead to the bhakti. Then question arises, what if person is overly attached to the material life and cannot perform this Nishkam karma yoga? And Lord explains that in next verses from 10 to 16. Should I continue? Is he coming?
He's on his way. He'll take questions.
Anyone has any question? I was too boring. Huh? Yes, bro.
So you were talking about like some people have like ego stuff like that. How do we turn it around? How do we change that? We don't know that we are doing something bad, but how do we realize?
We can know it by studying Shastras. What we are doing is right or wrong. Is that adherent to scriptures or not? And that's why it is said for Grihasthas, the tree of household life bears only 2 good fruits. Otherwise, this tree is poisonous. That makes you suffer. But it has 2 fruits as per the scripture. One is association of sadhus, that is sadhu sangha. And second is madhura vahi. your dealings with others, the sweet dealings, your behavior. If these two things are there with you, then this poisonous tree will not affect you. And you can see the people who are peaceful in their household life, they have these two things with them. Either they have a good association, and because of that association, that makes their lives sweet. So the person who is sweet by heart, does he has any ego? Or if someone has an ego, can he has sweet tongue or sweet dealings? What? What no? The egoistic person can't be sweet. And sweet person can't be egoistic. So it's your choice. What do you want to be? Most of the people, they go to doctor to check their sweetness. We don't want that sweetness. We want sweetness in their dealings. I'm talking about diabetics. And most egoistic person, they are diabetics because they are not able to express their emotions, and that emotions create imbalance in the sugar in their body. That's the subtle cause also. So if you want to get rid of diabetic also, be sweet. Yes. Is he coming?
So it's really, I can do the announcements now.
Okay.
After the questions are over.
I think so. They are finished.
Any more questions?
Any comment? No. Thank you very much. Thank you.